Hi, my name is Mariette Abrahams, CEO and founder of Qina, the hub for data and insights in personalized nutrition. And today I want to talk about data sources that you could use for conducting text analytics. So there's a variety of data sources that you can use, and obviously it has to contain some text-based information that you can then interrogate and navigate, clean, to then be able to get useful insights from. So I'd like to go through the different types of data sources you can use. It's probably good if you have one good source that is nice, big, clean. But in some cases, you may want to use more than one data source and combine them as well to get a more comprehensive insight. And this could be if you're looking maybe at differences in countries or differences across regions. And this can provide you some useful insights as well. So the first one I want to talk about is looking at transcripts. So transcripts are the kind of translation of the spoken word into text. And so you can get transcripts by interviewing people, focus groups, for example, anything where a specific question gets asked. Of course, preferably the question should be asked consistently, so you can get an insight of the same amount of or the same type of answer that different people are getting, and then analyze that in the end. So transcript is a good way because it kind of provides a very free flow of speech, and people can answer in the way that comes naturally to them, and therefore you can then extract certain keywords or even sentiment from that to be able to gather insights from that. The second one is looking at surveys. So if you've done a survey where you have some fields that are free text, for example, or open text, where people can type in their answers without there being a right or no or being restricted to one line, for example. So in this way, it gives you a good perspective of what people are saying about a specific topic, how they feel about a specific topic, and also give them enough space to express themselves in their own words. So this is a very good way of also getting insight into how people feel, depending, of course, on the topic of the whole survey. Then you can focus on what did people answer specifically in that open text question, so that people have more freedom and provides great insights. The next one is social media. So here it gets a little bit more complicated because one of the best, I would say, platforms where you can get access to this kind of information is the Twitter API, which is more open. But you can, of course, if you have a huge budget, access information such as Facebook or Instagram, and then trying to see what people are saying about a specific topic or a specific brand. This does mean that you do need to do a lot of cleaning of the data, because of course you get a lot of retweets, you get a lot of duplicates, for example, you get a lot of waste in terms of just hashtag answers, or something that doesn't always give you a lot of insight into how people actually feel about a specific topic or phrase, or so that is an area which is generating a huge amount of data, but is not always very useful. So you have to spend a lot of hours, I would say about 80% of your time, cleaning this data and making sure that you have single lines, clean, structured, that is actually usable in a way that you can then analyze the data. But it's nevertheless a good source. And it's usually also good to combine that with something else, like survey data, for example, or transcribe or expert interviews, so you can actually get, or validate or cross-reference what you find in one data source with another as well. The next one is around product reviews. This is also very useful because in a lot of cases, people need to be registered, so they need to have bought the product to be able to then give feedback. And so this can give you an insight and unfiltered feedback in terms of how people really feel, because they had to actually pay for the product as well. And so here you can then gather, vast amounts of product reviews from different countries, for example, and then compare that against each other and see what are the key topics, phrases, keywords, sentiment that comes up related to a specific product or brand. So product reviews are also a very interesting way or data source that you can use, providing that you have a good amount of data. Now, what is a good amount of data? That there isn't really a definition for that, but I would say if you have a product review that has at least 100 to 200 reviews, that at least can give you some kind of an insight, or at least a starting point in terms of what that could look like. If you have 10, then you could just read through every single review, and you could analyze it by qualitative analysis, or label the themes that you're noticing manually. But where I'm talking about where it can get really, really tedious is if you have 100 or 1,000, then it will be quite difficult. And so something like text analytics will then be really, really useful to kind of gather very quick insights from that kind of information. The last one is around customer inquiries as well, or inquiries, depending on which side of the pond you're on. And so basically what that means is that if you have any customer queries coming in that where customers are asking specific questions all the time, or they are struggling with one particular bit within a solution, then that could give you a very good clue in terms of what are the issues that people are really struggling with your product. Where should you innovate? Where should you renovate? Where do you need a completely new overhaul of a process? Or maybe you need a new feature. And so these are the kind of things that can give you insights by analyzing vast amount of data, text-based data. And this kind of information, people would have typed that into their query form, for example, that they need support, they need help, they need a callback. And in the meantime, then you can analyze that data to see whether you can gather any insights from that. So I hope that's been useful, and seeing how you can use different kinds of data sources. You can combine them, you can use a single source, but it needs to be a good quality of data. And as I said, it does mean that irrespective of the data source, you would need to spend time cleaning your data, and how to clean your data is what I'll cover in the next video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi. My name is Mariette Abrahams, CEO and founder of Qina, the hub for data and insights in personalized nutrition. And today I want to talk about data sources that you could use